able to read my mind.
You should read my mind.
Yeah.
Jada Pinkett Smith gets surprisingly candid again about her relationship with Will Smith, this time opening up to Gwyneth Paltrow about why it's hard to maintain a sex life with her husband. Some subjects are not safe for work, but if you're at the Red Table, nothing is off limits. And when Gwyneth stops by Red Table Talk to chat about her Netflix series Sex, Love, and Goop, she, Jada, and Gammy get really real about getting busy, especially Will's wife, who puts her confusion about navigating the communication gaps in her relationship, well, on the table.
It's hard.
I know. I'm
I
sure.
mean, the thing that Will and I talk about a lot is the journey. I mean, we started in this at a very young age, 22 years old.
It's crazy.
That's why the accountability part really hit for me, because I think you expect your partner to know, especially when it comes to sex.
Right.
It's like, well, if you love me, you should know.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you love me,
You should be able to read my mind.
you should read my mind.
Yeah.
You know what I
that's
mean?
a huge pitfall.
That's a huge pitfall.
Yeah, it is.
Gwyneth definitely understands and follows up with a very relatable take that hits us right in the feels.
It's like someone doesn't read your mind and we feel crushed.
Crushed.
I want to give all the praises and the honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Recha, Ha, Quadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Also, a sincere shalom to you other brethren, you followers of the truth, you few sisters, and you ones that's following this doctrine in sincerity and truth. And mainly shalom to the elect. Anyway, this is why Babel-Lon must go. Okay, this is a documentary or an interview with Jada Pinkett and Will Smith sharing sex life on social media. This is how it's become, and a lot of people are against what she's saying, which is crazy. I don't know where to go with this, but ultimately, I've heard her say, I do videos and I might leave comments and they'll say it's toxic masculinity. I don't know what this is. Because if you had, three Jakes sitting up here, if you had Samuel Jackson, Denzel, right, and Morris Chestnut sitting around a round table, and then somebody asks them about their sex life, and they say their woman didn't do it for them. She don't know what to do. She's out of, she's no good. And all the tabloids would shame them. All of a sudden, the femininity is on high. Feminism on high. You're in control. It's okay to run everything, to do everything. But when it comes to certain things like this, now you're supposed to read your mind. You see how backwards and babble it is? Now she needs her mind read, right? But always want to be in charge of everything, but you got to read their mind. This is crazy. Anyway, I don't have much to say on it. This is just prophecy, judging. And, I got to speak it the way I speak it. You look at her picture, and you can clearly see what's going on. This is Hollywood. Now, they supposed to both had an open relationship from the beginning. I don't know, something like that, where he flips and goes and does what he does, and she does what she does. I don't know. This is Hollywood, right? Some of these marriages, from what I understand, some of them have been arranged. I don't know in this situation. It's alleged. I don't know in this situation. But I do know if he sat up there and did the same interview with three other men, right? All the tabloids and all the news articles would have shamed him. You know it. And all of us know it. Because that's how it gets down, man. They're allowed to discuss personal matters, sex life on, in the middle of television, the middle of the news source. Right? That's crazy. But hey, man, that's what That's what you get when you up in that life. And he's totally being humiliated over and over again, man. If he ain't sharp enough to get out of that situation, and then she already messed with a couple of other guys, from what I understand, and you always know when it's the one that they bring out, it's more likely others. Anyway, Deuteronomy 28:56, the tender and delicate woman among you. Now, I can go to various other scriptures in the Bible that, especially in the book of Sirach, talking about the shameless woman, even in the scriptures itself, and everybody would have a fit, about these scriptures. But it's telling you what's actually happening. It's a curse. All of a sudden now it's his fault. You get in a relationship, you've been together all these years, and now all of a sudden he don't know what to do. What, he didn't know what to do 20 years ago, or was it the money? This is the same thing happened with these athletes. This is why Floyd is smart. I don't know why you Jake's going to get marrying these women. They all after the dough, man. They all after the fame and popularity. And most of them, especially in Hollywood, go to the other side anyway. There ain't nothing you could do with that. The tender and delicate woman among you, right, which will not venture to set her sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and towards her son, and toward her daughter. And you can clearly see they have a son and they have a daughter. And you see the outcome, right? You can see what it is. So, all of a sudden, now, she has an issue with their sex life. And then she has the issue, and then sit around a round table and says, he's supposed to know. So what kind of image is this promoting? This is going to start promoting and leaking. Remember, these are demonic forces. This is all going to leak into other households of different women who feel neglected, and they'll look at her and say the same thing. And then now all the women that are running the households, running the jobs, running the whole setup are now going to say, I'm in power, but you're supposed to know. I thought if you was in power, you were running the show. You had it going on. You had it the way you had it. You would know. This is also psychological. Because sex always starts with the mind first, before anything else. You just won't admit you don't have interest. You lost interest. You could pretty much lay there and touch the man and hold the man and get excited. But if that's not happening, then it's beyond what you're saying. Right? It's beyond that. It's something different going on. So that is no excuse. You got women like this who will commit adultery with another man that she know nothing about and be fully excited before they even get to that point and say it was something great. I bet you it was great when they got together, but now all of a sudden it ain't great anymore. But this, I'm just going into this because this is an example of Babylon. This is an example of what we see happening. And this is that toxicity that is now spewed in every so-called household. Attack on Jake. Eve is allowed to do this madness, man. But when it comes to Jake, nope, better not say nothing. And guarantee there's a simp Jake somewhere out there that will cut on some blue pill music, beg, and say he could do better. That's the wickedness.